one of the best things about the veterans group is, again, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and you enjoy the session. It's not a workout, it's a group exercise, you know?
Yeah, I've seen the yoga classes, outside, and I think it's very serious. You're right. I think it's very serious, and I don't know if you can be yourself. We like to be ourselves. We like to express, and
as long as you have fun and everyone's supporting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's a tribe. Would we support we all come together.
Veterans like to just bullshit about where they served and the funny things that were part of what they did. And if you get a group of veterans around, and sometimes maybe they're together there in yoga, they might themselves have a conversation, and don't feel that you can't just listen and absorb and ask questions. And if a veteran is there, they're looking for ways to connect.
But we can be a little silly. That's
Right.
true. And I think that's something yoga instructors need to be aware of.
Well, it's good when you have a bunch of veterans in there because they all try and compete. Yeah. Like the tree poles.
Which you do have to remind them. It's a good reminder for all the yoga instructors is
Always
they're going to
competition.
compete and they're all going to look off of their mat at other people. And you got to remind them to focus just on what you can do on your mat. Listen to your body.
I think we were in like a child pose or something, and this was outside, and I was trying to do the pose, and she came behind me and just not say anything, but just kind of pushed me down forward, and I was like, whoa,
Let us know if you're gonna touch us. Excuse me, I'm about to touch you, because some of us will freak out, literally.
And that kind of goes off of another subject is when I tell these guys to roll out their mats, they'll be way far apart from each other. So I think that just gives you an idea they like space and they don't like you in their space. So giving them a heads up when you're gonna come by if you do need to adjust or assist because they're maybe gonna hurt themselves. Otherwise, it's probably best to keep hands off.
So Warriors at Ease teachers, you should know that just because you have an able-bodied student walk in your class, that doesn't mean they might not have some service-related issues or health conditions. And so just be mindful that we are dealing with some invisible wounds when we're talking about warriors.
Anybody that's been to Iraq or Afghanistan, or even some of the other places, Djibouti, that we've deployed to, recognizes that before and after you come back, you're different. Things like yoga are incredible because it really does help you to become aware more. And figuring out all other ways to address it other than ibuprofen, water, and suck it up and drive on.
I think one of the biggest things is all veterans aren't the same. You have, like we talked about, Marines, Navy, Army, and then you also have people who've deployed, people who haven't deployed. I think just knowing your veteran population, not just putting them into the same pot.
Service members come from so many backgrounds and so many specialties. Even as a veteran, I can't connect on a first-hand, I know basis with every veteran. So don't put that kind of pressure on yourself with anybody, I'd say.
If this is your population, if you feel like veterans is your calling, still know your veterans. Don't just assume they're all veterans are veterans, because that's not the case. So I think if I was to give any advice would be to really go deep and dive into your veterans and understand their background. Just talk story.
Before the person was a service member, they were amongst the humans. And they're trying to reconnect, and that's really what it's about. It's reconnecting. So you don't have to connect with them as a veteran. You can connect with them as a person why are they there? What are they seeking? And how can you as an instructor help them on their journey as someone who connects with veterans? I learn about veterans every day, but I also want to learn about yoga instructors and what do you bring to it, and what are your experiences, and what is your knowledge, and how can your knowledge help me along my journey? I would say for your yoga instructors, be very confident in that gift that you bring, and it's powerful.